Have you ever found yourself struggling to get up from a chair or feeling unsteady when you walk around the house? Maybe you wake up at night, restless and tired, or notice your memory slipping in small, frustrating ways. These little changes often seem like just a part of getting older, something we quietly accept. But what if I told you that what you're experiencing might not be just a natural part of old age? What if the real reasons behind these challenges are often misunderstood or overlooked? In today's video, we're going to explore why so many of us face these struggles and, more importantly, what you can do to turn back the clock on your body and mind. By the end, I'll share the most important habit that can help you feel stronger, sharper, and more vibrant, no matter your age. Let's walk this journey together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Point 1. Maintaining balance and mobility. Have you ever found yourself hesitating before stepping off a curb or pausing at the top of the stairs just to make sure you feel steady enough to take that first step? Maybe you hold onto the back of a chair when getting up, or slide your hand along the wall as you move through the hallway at night. These little rituals of caution become more common as we age, and for many of us, they slip quietly into daily life without much thought. After all, feeling a bit wobbly or needing to catch your balance now and then seems like just another sign of getting older. One of those things everyone warns us about, but that most of us hope to avoid. It's easy to brush these changes off, telling ourselves that it's normal for our legs to feel weaker, or for our sense of balance to fade a little bit each year. Maybe a friend has mentioned tripping more often, or you've caught yourself reaching out for something to steady yourself in situations that used to feel effortless. There's a quiet anxiety that settles in, the unspoken worry that one wrong step could lead to a fall, and with it, a loss of independence. So we adapt. We move more slowly, avoid certain activities, and convince ourselves that this is just how things go. But here's a question worth pausing over. Does aging truly have to mean giving up on balance and mobility? Is it inevitable that as the candles on our birthday cake multiply, our ability to move confidently and gracefully must fade away? Or is it possible that there's more to this story than we've been led to believe? For decades, the assumption has been that declining balance is simply a fact of life, something written in the fine print of getting older, no matter who you are or how carefully you live. But recent research tells a different story, one filled with hope and potential for change. What if, instead of accepting wobbly legs and hesitant steps as our new normal, we could actively work to maintain, or even regain, the strength and stability that help us move through the world with confidence? To understand what's happening, it helps to take a gentle look at how balance works in our bodies. Imagine your balance as a kind of team effort, with your muscles, nerves, eyes, and inner ear all playing a crucial role. When you were young, your brain and body worked together effortlessly. You could skip down steps, hop off a porch, or spin around without a second thought. But as the years go by, a few things quietly change. Our muscles lose some of their strength, especially in the legs and core, the foundation for every step we take. The nerves that tell our brain where our body is in space become less sharp, and our reaction time slows. Even our eyesight and the little sensors in our ears that control balance can lose some of their youthful spark. All of this adds up. A missed signal here, a slower response there, and suddenly, standing on one leg or walking in a straight line feels just a little less certain. The risk, of course, is that even a small misstep can turn into a dangerous fall. For many older Americans, falls are the leading cause of injury, and they can be life-changing, not only physically, but emotionally as well. The fear of falling can make you pull back from activities you love, shrinking your world bit by bit. But here's the hopeful truth. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's inevitable. Many of the changes that undermine our balance are not only preventable, they're reversible. Your body, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond, is capable of remarkable adaptation. The human brain and muscles thrive on challenge and movement, and even gentle efforts can spark powerful results. So, what can you do, starting today, to hold on to your balance and keep moving confidently? The answer isn't complicated or extreme. The most effective steps are simple, gentle, and can fit seamlessly into daily life. One of the best ways to support your balance is through regular movement that engages both the mind and body. You don't need to sign up for a marathon or spend hours at the gym. Small, intentional practices are often the most powerful. Try this. Every morning while brushing your teeth, stand on one leg for as long as you feel safe. Keep a hand near the sink or the counter just in case you need extra support. Switch legs halfway through. It might feel shaky at first, but over time, your body will respond. Walking is another gentle and natural way to keep your legs and coordination strong. If you have a safe place, a hallway, a garden path, or even a local park, commit to a daily walk. Pay attention to the way your feet meet the ground, and try to walk with steady, even steps. Tai Chi and gentle yoga are also wonderful for building strength and improving the tiny muscles and nerves that keep you steady. Many community centers offer classes designed especially for seniors, often led by instructors who understand the unique needs of older bodies. And don't underestimate the power of simple strength training. Light weights, resistance bands, or even just standing up from a chair repeatedly can do wonders for the muscles that keep you balanced. Focus especially on your calves, thighs, and core. These are the powerhouses that support every move you make. You might be surprised at how quickly you notice a difference in your confidence and stability. Let me share a story that might inspire you. A few years ago, I met a woman named Eleanor at a local senior center. Eleanor was 84, fiercely independent, and lived alone after her husband passed. One winter, she slipped on an icy sidewalk and broke her wrist. The fall shook her, not just physically, but emotionally. For months, she found herself hesitating at doorways and avoiding walks outside. She missed visiting with neighbors and working in her beloved garden. But Eleanor was determined not to let fear define her life. With the encouragement of her daughter, she joined a balance and strength class at the community center. At first, she struggled. Standing on one foot for more than a few seconds felt impossible. But with gentle guidance, patience, and daily practice, Eleanor grew stronger. By spring, she was back tending her garden, even kneeling to plant new flowers. The change wasn't just in her body, it was in her spirit. I realized, she told me, that I could get better at any age, as long as I didn't give up on myself. Eleanor's story is more common than you might think. Across the country, seniors are rediscovering their confidence simply by refusing to accept the loss of balance as the final word on aging. The key is not waiting for things to get worse before you act. Start where you are, today. Make a small promise to yourself, a few minutes of balance practice, a gentle walk, or a phone call to check out local senior classes. These small steps can add up to a giant leap for your independence. Most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Progress isn't always a straight line, and everyone has off days. But each attempt, each moment you choose movement over stillness, is an investment in your freedom and joy. Remember, balance isn't just about standing upright. It's about moving through life with confidence, feeling steady enough to say yes to new experiences, strong enough to reach out for what you love, and brave enough to keep writing your story, one step at a time. So the next time you find yourself reaching for support or hesitating before you move, remember, you have more power than you think. Your journey to better balance can start today, with patience, with practice, and with the quiet belief that growing older doesn't mean standing still. It might just be the perfect time to move forward. You've earned every year of your life. Don't let fear or old assumptions hold you back from living it to the fullest. Here's to every confident step you take. Point 2. Keeping muscle strength and energy. Have you ever noticed how certain everyday tasks, the ones you once handled without a second thought, now seem a bit more demanding? Maybe it's carrying a bag of groceries from the car to the kitchen, opening a stubborn jar, climbing the stairs, or even just standing up from your favorite chair after watching an afternoon ball game. For many of us, these small moments come with a quiet sense of frustration, a silent reminder that our bodies aren't quite as strong or as full of energy as they used to be. It can feel discouraging, even a little lonely at times, to sense your strength slipping away, little by little. Perhaps you brush it off, telling yourself, that's just part of getting older. Everyone slows down sooner or later. You might hear friends say the same, sharing laughs about aches and groans as if surrendering to muscle loss is an inevitable chapter in life's story. The truth is, age does bring changes, but there's something quietly powerful about questioning that assumption. Must we accept weakness and fatigue as our new reality? Or is there something we can do, no matter our age, to hold on to, or even reclaim, our strength and vitality? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Science tells us that the gradual loss of muscle, what doctors call sarcopenia, is indeed common as we get older. By the time most people reach their 70s and 80s, they've lost a considerable amount of muscle mass compared to their younger years. This loss can make simple activities more difficult and can drain us of the energy that once felt so abundant. But while sarcopenia is widespread, it isn't something we're powerless against. Our bodies are astonishingly adaptable, capable of growing stronger at any stage of life, especially when given the right kind of attention and care. The real culprit behind muscle loss isn't just the passing of time, it's inactivity. As we age, we tend to move less. Retirement often brings more hours spent sitting, reading, watching TV, or catching up with friends over coffee. Add to this the aches and pains that discourage movement, and it's easy to see how a cycle of weakness and fatigue can take hold. Muscles are like engines. They need to be used regularly or they start to shrink and lose their spark. The less we move, the less energy we have, and the cycle quietly continues. But here's where things get interesting and hopeful. Numerous studies have shown that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle and boost their energy simply by being a little more active. You don't need to run marathons or bench press heavy weights to see results. Just a bit of gentle resistance training, paired with everyday activity and mindful nutrition, can transform the way you feel. Imagine being able to lift your grandchild, carry in your groceries, or enjoy a walk in the park without that old sense of exhaustion. It's possible, and it's within your reach. So, how do you get started? The first step is as simple as moving to a daily habit, no matter how small. Stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times each morning. This humble action works the largest muscles in your legs and keeps your joints flexible. Walk to the mailbox or around the block, even if you need a little support at first. Use soup cans or light hand weights to do bicep curls as you watch your favorite TV show. Stretch your arms and legs gently when you wake up and before bed, feeling the muscles lengthen and awaken. For those ready to go a step further, consider adding resistance bands or light dumbbells to your routine. These tools are gentle on the joints but provide just enough challenge to stimulate muscle growth. Focus on the big muscle groups: legs, hips, back, and shoulders. Remember, quality matters more than quantity. Slow, controlled movements done 2 or 3 times a week are enough to make a difference. Many senior centers and community gyms offer classes specifically designed for older adults, led by instructors who know how to make exercise safe, enjoyable, and social. Nutrition plays a crucial role as well. As we age, our bodies need more protein to maintain and build muscle. Include sources like eggs, chicken, fish, beans, Greek yogurt, or nuts in your meals. Hydration matters too. A well-hydrated body functions better and recovers faster after activity. Even something as simple as a glass of milk after a walk can provide the fuel your muscles need to repair and grow stronger. Let me share the story of someone who found new strength later in life. A gentleman named Walter, who lived down the street from me, had always been an active man, serving in the Navy, then running his hardware store. But after his wife passed, he lost his zest for movement and spent most days sitting by the window, watching the neighborhood change. Over time, he noticed it was getting harder to stand up, to walk out to get the newspaper, even to open jars in the kitchen. One morning, after struggling to carry a bag of groceries, Walter decided he'd had enough of feeling helpless. With encouragement from his daughter, he started with chair exercises, just standing up and sitting down, a few times each morning and evening. He walked around the block, slowly at first, but determined to keep going. His daughter brought over a pair of 2-pound hand weights, and together, they made exercise a daily habit. The change was gradual, but steady. After 3 months, Walter's handshake was firmer, his back straighter, his step more sure. He even joined the local community center's Seniors in Motion class, where he found not only more energy, but new friends. "I thought my strong days were behind me," he once told me, "but I realized I just needed to start again, one small step at a time." Walter's journey isn't unusual. All across America, older adults are rediscovering their power by refusing to give in to weakness or accept fatigue as a given. The secret is consistency and patience, choosing movement, however small, over idleness. The rewards are worth every effort. Better posture, steadier hands, more restful sleep, and the priceless gift of being able to do the things you love for yourself. If you find yourself doubting, remember, it's never too late to get stronger. The body responds to care and attention at any age. Start small, listen to your body, and celebrate every bit of progress. Invite a friend or family member to join you. Shared goals make the journey lighter and more fun. And if you ever feel discouraged, think of Walter, or the countless others who have discovered that a little determination, paired with simple daily action, can keep your muscles and spirit vibrant for years to come. Growing older will bring changes, but it does not have to mean surrendering your strength or energy. Instead, think of the season of life as an invitation to move, to stretch, to grow, and to experience the joy of what your body can still accomplish. Every time you choose to rise from your chair, lift a weight, or walk that extra block, you're telling your body, "I'm still here. I'm still strong." And that, perhaps, is the greatest triumph of all. So don't let anyone, including yourself, convince you that muscle loss is inevitable, or that fatigue must be your constant companion. The tools to fight back are simple and close at hand: gentle movement, nourishing food, patience, and a little bit of hope. Your strength is a story you can keep writing every single day. Let today be your new beginning. Stand tall, move often, and celebrate the energy you already have, and the strength you can still build. The next chapter of your life can be your most powerful yet. Point 3. Maintaining mental sharpness and memory. Have you ever found yourself pausing mid-sentence, searching for a word that used to come so easily? Or maybe you walk into a room, only to forget what brought you there in the first place. Sometimes, it's the little things: forgetting a friend's birthday, misplacing your glasses for the 3rd time in a day, or feeling like names just slip right through your mind. For many of us, these moments become more frequent with age, and while they can be harmless, they often spark a quiet fear. Is this normal? Or is my mind starting to slip away? It's tempting to brush these incidents aside, laughing with friends about senior moments, or blaming them on too many distractions. Maybe you hear people say, "Well, that's just what happens when you get older. The mind slows down like everything else." But what if that's not the whole story? What if these changes aren't just the price we pay for another birthday, but signals calling us to take better care of our most precious asset, our brain? Let's take a step back and question the assumption that mental decline is an unavoidable part of aging. For generations, we've been taught that getting older means accepting forgetfulness, sluggish thinking, and foggy memories. But science now paints a far more hopeful picture. Yes, our brains do change as we age. Processing speed slows, multitasking gets harder, and some recall may not be as crisp as in our younger years. However, the brain remains remarkably adaptable, capable of growing new connections, adapting to challenges, and staying sharp well into our 80s and 90s. The secret isn't simply to accept decline, but to stay proactive. Just like our muscles and bones, our minds crave stimulation and exercise. The phrase, "use it or lose it," truly applies here. Inactivity, both physical and mental, can quietly erode our cognitive abilities over time. But, with a little daily attention, you can boost your mental sharpness and memory at any age. So, how does memory work, and why does it sometimes feel like it's playing tricks on us as we get older? Think of your brain as a bustling city. Messages travel like cars on a network of highways and roads, neurons and synapses, carrying information to and from different regions. As we age, some roads get a bit slower, a few exits may close, but new detours and shortcuts can form if we keep the city active and well-maintained. One reason for forgetfulness is simply that we accumulate so much information over a lifetime. The more packed our city is, the longer it may take to retrieve a memory from the depths of our experience. Another factor is that the chemicals supporting those brain highways, like dopamine and acetylcholine, decrease with age, making connections a little less snappy. Sleep, stress, medications, and even nutrition also play major roles in how well our memory and attention work. But the biggest factor is how much we challenge our brains. Just as a sedentary body loses muscle, an unstimulated mind grows sluggish. Yet, the brain can stay fit and even grow sharper when we exercise it with new and meaningful activities. The key is not just repetition, but novelty. Learning new things, solving puzzles, meeting new people, and even taking up unfamiliar hobbies. Each time we do something different, we forge new connections in our brain, keeping our neural city busy and vibrant. What are some gentle, practical ways to keep your mind sharp every day? It doesn't require hours of homework or endless crossword puzzles, unless you enjoy them, of course. Start by bringing curiosity into your daily life. Read books or articles that interest you, or join a local book club. Challenge yourself to try a new recipe, learn a few words of a foreign language, or play a new card game with friends. If you enjoy music, learn to play a simple instrument or listen to unfamiliar genres. Even switching up your walking route or using your non-dominant hand for small tasks can give your brain a healthy workout. Staying socially connected is also critical. Conversations with friends, family, and neighbors engage multiple parts of the brain: memory, language, attention, and even emotion. Volunteering, joining local clubs, or simply calling a friend to chat can make a world of difference. Social engagement helps fend off loneliness and depression, both of which are linked to cognitive decline. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Don't forget your physical health, either. Regular movement, like walking, swimming, or gentle yoga, improves blood flow to the brain and supports the growth of new brain cells. Good nutrition, especially omega-3 fatty acids, leafy greens, and berries, has been shown to boost brain health. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, as that's when the brain files away memories and refreshes itself for a new day. Let me share a story that might inspire you. I once knew a man named Harold, who turned 90 last year. Harold had always been a curious soul, a retired school principal. He loved reading mysteries and solving puzzles. When he retired, he feared his mind would slow down, so he set out to challenge himself in new ways. He joined a community storytelling group, learned how to use a tablet to video call his grandkids, and even took up painting, something he'd never tried before. Harold's friends would joke that he was busier than ever, but what stood out was how sharp, witty, and present he remained, even as the years ticked by. When asked his secret, Harold simply smiled and said, "You can't let your mind get rusty. Every day is a chance to learn something new." Harold's experience isn't unique. All across the country, older adults are finding that mental sharpness is not just a gift of youth but a skill to nurture at every stage of life. Whether you prefer reading, gardening, mentoring, playing chess, or just telling stories to your grandchildren. The activities that keep you engaged and curious are also helping your brain stay resilient. If you've been worried about your memory, take heart. Occasional forgetfulness is normal, and there's so much you can do to help your mind thrive. Celebrate your curiosity, and remember that mental fitness is a lifelong journey. Don't be afraid to seek help if you notice significant or troubling changes. Sometimes medications, underlying health conditions, or even stress and grief can affect memory more than age itself, and these are often treatable with the right support. Above all, treat your brain with the same care and attention you give your body and spirit. Every new experience, every challenge accepted, and every heartfelt connection is a victory for your mental sharpness. Growing older brings wisdom and perspective, but it also calls us to keep reaching, learning, and connecting, no matter the year on our birth certificate. So, as you go about your day, let yourself be curious. Try a new crossword, teach your grandchildren a card game, write down your favorite memories, or sign up for that class you've always wondered about. Remind yourself, as Harold did, that your mind is alive and capable of wonderful things. You have stories yet to tell, memories yet to make, and a mind ready to rise to every new challenge. Stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, the journey of the mind is far from over. With a little attention and a lot of heart, you can keep your mental spark burning bright, today, tomorrow, and for many joyful years to come. Point 4. Keeping a positive attitude and emotional balance. There are days when, no matter how much sunshine streams through the window, the world just seems a little grayer. Maybe it's waking up to a quiet house, the kind that echoes memories of voices and laughter from years past. Or maybe it's that sense of restlessness that sneaks in after a long afternoon, when the phone doesn't ring and the calendar looks empty. For many of us, especially as we grow older, it's not just our bodies that change, it's our hearts and minds, too. Sometimes, keeping a smile feels like lifting a heavy weight. Sometimes, hope seems harder to come by. If you've ever felt this way, you're far from alone. It's a story older Americans know well. Life shifts, children move away, friends pass on, routines grow smaller, and sometimes worries about health or finances creep in at night. Maybe you've lost someone close and the grief comes in waves, or perhaps you simply miss the sense of being needed, the way you once were. It's easy in these moments to believe that feeling sad or anxious is just a natural part of getting older. You might even hear people say, "Well, what do you expect at our age? That's just how it goes." But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if, instead of accepting emotional struggle as our destiny, we recognized our remarkable ability to nurture hope and positivity, no matter what life brings? What if you could wake up each day with a gentle sense of purpose, even if the world outside is changing faster than you'd like? Science tells us something heartening. Our brains are built for resilience, even in the face of hardship. The human spirit is wired not just to endure but to adapt, heal, and grow. Emotional well-being isn't just luck or circumstance. It's a skill we can practice, much like learning to ride a bike or play a song on the piano. Research shows that positive emotions, like gratitude, hope, and kindness, don't just feel good. They strengthen our immune systems, lower blood pressure, and even add years to our lives. Studies from Harvard and Yale have found that people with an optimistic outlook are less likely to suffer heart disease, recover faster from illness, and experience less cognitive decline as they age. Of course, it's not always easy. The myth that happiness comes naturally, or that older people should always be cheerful, simply isn't true. There are real losses and challenges in later life, and sometimes grief and sadness are important, honest responses. But a positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about noticing the small moments of beauty that still exist: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a neighbor, a memory that makes you smile. It's about gently steering your thoughts back to hope, even when the world feels uncertain. So, how do you nurture a positive attitude and emotional balance, especially when life throws its toughest challenges your way? The good news is, You don't need grand gestures or expensive solutions. Often, the most powerful steps are the simplest, woven into everyday life. Start with gratitude. Take a few minutes each morning to think of 3 things, no matter how small, that you're thankful for. Maybe it's the comfort of your favorite chair, the scent of flowers outside your window, or the sound of birdsong at sunrise. Gratitude works like a gentle anchor, grounding your mind in the present and reminding you of life's ongoing gifts. Next, stay connected. Loneliness can creep up quietly, especially if loved ones are far away. But you can reach out. A phone call, a handwritten letter, a friendly chat with a neighbor, or even a wave across the street. Human connection, however simple, reminds us that we're not alone on this journey. If you enjoy group activities, consider joining a club, a faith community, or a local volunteering group. These circles can be sources of laughter, comfort, and shared purpose. Take care of your body, too. Moving your body, even gently, releases endorphins, nature's mood lifters. Try a short walk, a stretch in the garden, or a bit of chair yoga. Sunshine, fresh air, and even tending a few houseplants can lift your spirits in surprising ways. And don't be afraid to let yourself feel. Bottling up sadness or fear often makes them grow stronger. Instead, find safe ways to express your feelings. Talk with a trusted friend or counselor, write in a journal, or simply allow yourself a quiet cry when you need it. Sometimes, sharing your worries makes them easier to bear. Let me tell you about a woman named Marjorie, who lived in a small Midwestern town. Marjorie lost her husband after 50 years together, and for a while, the world seemed drained of color. She found herself sitting by the window, barely speaking, feeling the weight of sadness settle in. But one afternoon, her granddaughter invited her to a local quilting group, a small gathering of women who met to stitch, share stories, and laugh. At first, Marjorie hesitated, unsure she belonged. But week by week, surrounded by gentle chatter and the rhythmic movement of her hands, she found her sadness lightening. The group offered her not just a distraction, but a new sense of belonging and purpose. Marjorie began to notice the sunrises again, to savor her morning coffee, and to find joy in simple conversations. "The sorrow didn't disappear," she once said, "but it became softer. And with each new quilt, I sewed in a little more hope." Marjorie's journey is not unusual. All across the country, people are rediscovering emotional balance by opening themselves to new connections, small joys, and fresh perspectives. Whether it's through faith, friendship, volunteering, or simply cultivating gratitude, these practices help us stay afloat when the waters of life grow rough. And remember, there's no shame in seeking support. Talking with a counselor, joining a support group, or asking your doctor about emotional health is a sign of strength, not weakness. Mental health deserves just as much care as physical health, and there are more resources now than ever before. Above all, be gentle with yourself. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. But each day you choose to notice the good, to reach out, or to move your body, you're strengthening your resilience, like a muscle that grows with every kind act, every moment of hope. So as you greet each morning, remember, a positive attitude isn't about denying life's difficulties. It's about choosing to see the possibilities that remain. Emotional balance is a gift you can give yourself, no matter your age or circumstance. You've lived through storms and sunshine, and your heart is strong, capable of both deep feeling and great joy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Permit yourself to hope. Celebrate your small victories. Notice the beauty in ordinary days. And if you find yourself struggling, remember Marjorie's wisdom. Sorrow may visit, but hope can always return. The story of your life is still unfolding. Let it be filled with courage, laughter, and the quiet power of a positive heart. Point 5. Maintaining healthy eating habits and good sleep. If you've ever found yourself pushing your dinner plate away, Not because you're full, but because nothing tastes quite right anymore. You're certainly not alone. Or maybe you've noticed that sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to. Those long, deep nights have turned into restless tossing and turning, or waking up long before sunrise. For so many older adults, these subtle changes in appetite and sleep creep in quietly, almost as if they're just part of the deal with getting older. Friends and doctors might tell you it's normal, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating or isolating. Sometimes, it's tempting to shrug off these changes. After all, isn't it expected that seniors eat less, skip meals, or settle for whatever's convenient? And isn't poor sleep simply an inevitable part of aging, something to be endured rather than changed? These are the quiet stories we hear, and often tell ourselves, over the years. But what if they're only half the truth? What if there are gentle, doable ways to reclaim your enjoyment of food and your peaceful nights? Let's pause for a moment and ask, must aging always mean giving up on good meals and restful sleep? Or have we been overlooking simple steps that can help us thrive, not just survive, in our golden years? The truth is, while aging does bring changes to our bodies, slower digestion, altered taste, less hunger, and lighter sleep, science has shown that healthy eating and restorative sleep are still within reach. They're more important now than ever before. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients like vitamin B12, calcium, and protein. Our taste buds may dull, making food less exciting, and our metabolism slows, changing how we process what we eat. All this makes it easy to slip into routines that don't fully nourish us, skipping meals, eating too much processed food, or drinking one too many cups of coffee to combat fatigue. Sleep, too, shifts with age. Hormonal changes can make it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Medical conditions, medications, or even a simple late-night worry can disrupt our precious rest. Yet, sleep remains a foundation for everything: memory, healing, mood, and even our immune system. But here's the hopeful side. Research tells us that healthy eating habits and better sleep are not just possible, but deeply rewarding at any age. The key is not perfection, but gentle, sustainable routines that bring pleasure and comfort back to daily life. So, where do you begin? Let's start with food, because nourishment is about much more than calories. It's about community, tradition, pleasure, and care. If food has become a chore, try inviting more color and variety onto your plate. Aim for a rainbow of fruits and vegetables throughout the week. Blueberries for brain health, leafy greens for vitamins, and orange sweet potatoes for fiber and taste. Whole grains, like oatmeal, brown rice, and whole wheat bread, are kind to your digestion and give lasting energy. Choose lean proteins such as fish, chicken, eggs, beans, and even a little cheese or yogurt for bone and muscle support. Don't forget healthy fats. Avocados, olive oil, walnuts, and salmon aren't just tasty. They help protect your heart and keep your mind sharp. If your appetite is low, try eating small, frequent meals rather than 3 large ones. Sometimes, enjoying meals with others, whether at a family table or a local community center, makes food taste better and encourages you to eat enough. Be mindful of salt and sugar. As we age, high blood pressure and diabetes become more common, so it's wise to flavor food with herbs, lemon, or a dash of spice rather than reaching for the salt shaker or sweets. Stay hydrated, too. Even mild dehydration can sap your energy and cloud your thinking. Keep a glass of water nearby and sip throughout the day. And what about sleep? Good sleep doesn't just happen. It's something we can prepare for, gently and intentionally. Try keeping a routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same times each day, even on weekends. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. Instead, create a calming ritual before bed. Perhaps reading a book, listening to soft music, or sipping a cup of herbal tea. Make your bedroom a haven. Dark, cool, and quiet, with comfortable pillows and cozy blankets. Sunlight matters, too. Exposure to natural light during the day helps set your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night. If you wake up in the night, try not to fret. Breathe slowly, remind yourself that resting quietly is still valuable, and avoid the temptation of screens or bright lights. Let me tell you about Ed and Ruth, a couple who moved to a small town in Oregon after retirement. In their first year, they found themselves slipping into old habits. Microwave dinners, late-night TV, restless nights. But after Ed's doctor raised concerns about his blood pressure, and Ruth started forgetting small things, they decided to try something new. Together, they began making simple meals. Vegetable soups, grilled fish with lemon, fresh salad sprinkled with nuts and berries. They joined a local walking group, which led them outdoors in the sunshine most days. Before bed, they set aside their phones and read side by side. At first, the changes felt awkward, but gradually, they noticed real differences. Ed's blood pressure improved, Ruth's memory became sharper, and both found themselves looking forward to mealtimes and sleeping more soundly. "We thought feeling tired and blah was just part of getting older," Ruth said, "but we learned we still had choices, and we could still enjoy our days." Stories like Ed and Ruth's happen every day, all across America. Seniors who once struggled with meals or sleep find new energy, clearer minds, and brighter moods by making small, lasting changes. The beauty is that it's never too late to start. Your next healthy meal or peaceful night's sleep can begin today. If you felt discouraged, remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Begin with one gentle change. Maybe it's adding a handful of berries to your breakfast or taking a walk in the morning sun. Perhaps it's setting a regular bedtime or making a new recipe with a friend. Celebrate each positive step, no matter how small. Above all, be kind to yourself. Your appetite and sleep patterns will have ups and downs, but each meal and each night of rest is a chance to nurture your body and spirit. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your doctor, a nutritionist, or even a caring friend can offer support and ideas. Healthy eating and good sleep aren't about chasing perfection. They're about honoring your body, savoring life's simple pleasures, and giving yourself the care you truly deserve. Even as the years pass, you can still find joy in a tasty meal and the comfort of a peaceful night. Your health is a story you keep writing, one bite, one dream at a time. So tonight, as you settle in for sleep, and tomorrow as you sit down to eat, remember, you have the power to nourish yourself, body and soul. You are worthy of delicious food, of restful nights, and of every good thing this life still has to offer. Here's to your next beautiful meal and your next sweet dream. May there be many, many more to come. As we reach the end of this journey together, I hope you're feeling a renewed sense of possibility. Aging is often painted as a story of loss of strength, memory, balance, or joy. But the truth is, your story is still unfolding, full of chapters waiting to be written. Every step you take to care for your body and mind, whether it's standing a little taller, making a healthy meal, practicing gratitude, or learning something new, is a victory worth celebrating. Remember, growing older isn't about what you can no longer do. It's about finding new ways to thrive, to stay curious, to love and be loved, and to wake up each day with hope in your heart. Even the smallest changes, an extra walk around the block, a call to a friend, a moment of laughter, a mindful meal, can spark real transformation. You have the power to shape your days with intention, resilience, and compassion. If you're feeling inspired, I invite you to take just one idea from this video and try it in your own life this week. Notice how it feels. Celebrate your progress. And remember, you're not walking this road alone. We're in this together, learning, growing, and cheering each other on. What have you learned today? What small step will you take to age backward in your way? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and encouragement. Here's to many more vibrant, joyful years ahead. You deserve every moment.